When I say you have been freezing your yams wrongly, after the end of this video, you're going to tell me that I'm saying the truth. If you're in the diaspora or abroad, buying yams in bulk is going to save you a lot because sometimes they are so expensive. So if you see when it's cheap, grab a box or half and let me show you how to preserve it that can last for up to 1 year. Hello, beautiful people. How is it going? Cloudy here from cookiewithcloudy.com. I'm here again teaching my brothers and sisters abroad or in the diaspora how to save money or how to preserve or freeze food perfectly that can last for a year. So when you want to buy your yams, make sure your vendor cuts the yam because you don't want to come home and cry after. I always tell them to cut it and remove any part that is rotten or not looking good so it's not going to weigh more on the scale, okay? So now let us go ahead and prepare our yams. The first method I'm going to be showing you have never seen it anywhere. In a pot of water, adding some salt, bring that, let it get hot, not necessarily boiling, let it get hot. Now, go ahead and peel the yams. For my yams, I'm not going to be using a knife to peel. I find that using a peeler, vegetable peeler, is more faster to peel the yams than cutting it and start slicing like one after the other. So guys, 3 methods I'm going to be showing you how to preserve your yams that can stay for up to 1 year. If you have been freezing your yams, just peeling it, washing it and put it inside the Ziploc bag and freezing, that is the wrong way to preserve your yams. That's why I always tell you guys that always try to support your girl because I bring you guys the best. Please hit the notification bell, subscribe, like the video and share the video, okay? Now you want to go ahead, wash your yams perfectly to get rid of any dirt or debris. You want to rinse that perfectly, okay? Now I'm going to be cutting this one differently because this one is going to be used for like porridge or but the other one I sliced before is going to be used for boiling or pounding, different types. So you're going to cut your yams to preserve according to how you want to preserve it or according to how you want to cook it, or it depends on the recipe. Now when the water is hot, bring in the yams inside. This is my secret. When you bring in those yams, 1 minute at the dot, take it out, okay? This process helps to firm up the yam and it helps to prevent discoloration in the yams. You know, when you put your yams in the freezer and you want to take them out, sometimes it is black or it has a funny color. 1 minute at the dot. Do not exceed 1 minute. Now drain or remove it from the hot water and transfer into a bowl of cold water. Now let it stay into the cold water for some time. Let me say 10 minutes or that. You see that? So let that stay inside. I just want to fill that to the brim so that it covers the yams. Another thing I want to tell you is if you exceed the 1 minute, the edges of the yams will become like starting getting cooked or soft. You want to avoid that by all means. So I always insist on you guys 1 minute. When it's like this can stay in the room temperature at even an hour. It's not still going to change its color like this. When you take them out from the cold water, you want to transfer into a clean cloth, then you pat dry. You want to get rid of any water. Okay, you see those dark parts in the yams? That's the part that will have been dark inside the freezer. So what do you do now? Just use a knife, then go ahead to cut out all those dark spots you see in there, and your yams are going to stay clean, shiny, white throughout the freezing. Okay guys, another thing you have to know is your freezing method, where you usually just peel the yams, wash them and put in the Ziploc bag and freeze. I'm not debunking that method. You can use that method if you want to preserve for like, let me say a few weeks, a week or 2. But for this method I'm showing you right now, you can preserve your yams for months and it's still gonna stay beautiful, no discoloration, firm and all that. So this tip is the best ever. No one will ever show you this tip. I learned this tip from my mom and since then I've been using it, and guess what? I was like, why haven't I shown you guys this method how to preserve yams? Especially you guys in the diaspora or abroad, when sometimes yams are scarce, sometimes it's expensive, then sometimes it's so like affordable. Just buy in bulk and preserve in this method. Now transfer that into a Ziploc bag and it's gonna go to the freezer right away. So keep watching ahead because the 2 methods I'm going to be showing you, maybe you're going to prefer that over this one. It depends. Like I always tell you guys, my recipes are just a guide. I always say this in all my videos. So go ahead and close the Ziploc bag. What I do, I leave a little bit of space at the top just to press out any trapped air in there, just like this. Also, do not overcrowd the Ziploc bag, okay? You want the yams in there to have space too. So everything is looking so beautiful, set it aside, ready to freeze. I'll just go ahead and repeat the process for the rest of the yams as usual.
Cooking with Claudie, cooking with Claudie, easy simple recipe. Cooking with Claudie, cooking with Claudie, easy simple recipe. African, Asian.
Let us go to the second method. In the bowl of water, that's just water from the tap, just room temperature, cold, it doesn't matter. Add in some salt. What does the salt do? It helps to avoid discoloration in the yams. Now just bring in your yams inside. This is just the yams I just peeled. Just bring it inside. Then you let that sit in there for about 15 to 20 minutes. Then you remove it, pat dry, and put in Ziploc bags. That's the second method. I know this is a method that most of you have been using, just washing and put a Ziploc bag. That's why I say your method is not wrong, but don't forget the salt to help avoid discoloration. So after sitting in there, I'll just take that out from the bowl, transfer into a clean towel, pat dry, then transfer into Ziploc bags. Do the same thing I did before. The third method, guys, I don't think someone has showed you the third method, but just keep watching ahead because I don't know if it's gonna be your favorite, but it is my favorite. Everything has been packed up, looking super nice. My life is easy. When I want to cook it, I just take it, put inside a pot. You have to cook from frozen. Never ever thaw the yams. Cook from frozen. When I want to cook it, I just transfer into a bag like this. You see that everything is still white, beautiful. Add in some water, cover that, and let it cook until it is tender. This is how beautiful that is looking. It is now tender. You want to drain the water in there, then you can go ahead and serve with whatever side. I went ahead and pounded some for my kids. Now for the third method, I'll be using a one whole yam. One whole yam for the third method. Go ahead, cut it like this. This is my favorite, and I'm sure it's going to be your favorite as well. I'll be using a slicer here. That's a plantain chip slicer. Just slice them really, really thin like this. Very, very, very thin. You want the sizes to be like as thin like this because you want them to dehydrate really, really quick. Now using a dehydrator, I'm using like my Ninja dehydrator, any dehydrator you can use. I'm not going to recommend an oven because an oven is gonna, like I can say, cook it. You're slightly cooking it if you put in the oven. The oven heat is not recommended for this. Yeah, so a dehydrator is better, or if you are in an area where it's hot, you can sun dry it. So after, from time to time, I just go ahead, flip the sides, just stir it just like this so that everything can, dehydrate evenly. So after dehydrating, this is how beautiful that is looking. It took like 2 hours to dehydrate. If you want to use this my Ninja dehydrator, it is 6-in-1. It air fries, it grills, it roasts. So you can get it from Amazon. I'll drop the link for you guys. Now let us remove that. You need to transfer to a blender and blend. You need a strong blender for this. Maybe Vitamix, Mix, any strong blender. That's the dry blender. It's going to blend it smoothly to dust. You want to blend it really, really fine. Okay. Now I will transfer that into an airtight container. Then cover it, and it can stay for about a year or more than a year even. You see that? This is how I always preserve mine. I usually like dehydrate maybe like 4 to 5 of them so that I can stay. When I want to cook it in a pot of cold water, do not mix it with hot water first. I mix it in cold water just to save myself from crying after, if you know what I mean, to prevent lumps. So mix with cold water first, then you turn on your heat. Use a whisk like this. Whisk until when it starts to thicken. Then you can now use a cooking spoon. Just keep stirring until it forms one, or it comes together as one, just like this. Okay, this is how you want yours to look like. Now in this part, go ahead, add in some water because you want that to cook perfectly, and it's gonna rise to, because it's yams, it's gonna rise a little bit. Cover that until fully cooked. After some time, give that a final stir until it comes together as one, and you can go ahead to serve.
Cooking with Claudie, cooking with Claudie, easy simple recipe.
I'm going to be serving this one for myself. This is my favorite way to enjoy this. I prefer this over, like, you know, when you boil it from fresh and you put in the food processor to make the fufu. I prefer this one over that. I served this with some vegetable soup, super delicious. I went ahead and enjoyed myself. Let me know in the comment section what you think about what I showed you today. I always love helping my brothers and sisters abroad because I've been abroad for 11 years. I know how difficult it is when it comes to food, preserving and freezing. So after I've used all this method, I thought it was okay for me to share. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And until I see you again in my next video, I love you all. Please do not forget to support me by subscribing, liking, and sharing my videos. Until we meet again, bye for now.